And we are live.
Woo!
So take it away, CA. Oh, that
All right,
rhymes.
well, hello, and welcome to the Weekly Word. Today is Thursday, July 18th, and I am Chaotic Anarchy, filling in for the lovely Morgan West.
That's not what it says in the script.
Yes, it does.
It says MIA Morgan West. And
the lovely Morgan. Well, I edited it.
and I am.
Then you get the update from.
No, you can't edit it.
production.
You can't edit it now.
Look, don't you know how this works? Production updates it, gives it to CA. Then she's supposed to give it to both of us, but obviously, she gave it to me, and I was like, right, we're doing this. Oh crap, we're live.
I'm watching her edit the script as I'm trying to read. So I am Rich Parla, in case you didn't know, or some of you may not know, and I'm sure Morgan has a really good excuse for dumping me tonight. At least it better be a good excuse, or else she will have to take a weekly word challenge on the air, as designed by Smurfy, CA, and I. Maybe she'd have to take the challenge anyway. Tonight we are joined by TK. Please introduce yourself.
Hi folks, you all know me as TK. I mean, I'm everywhere. I may or may not be a Highlander. We won't know until someone tries cutting my head off, but hasn't happened yet. So I'm sticking with I'm immortal.
So you're immortal? All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't die, so I mean, that or there's a bunch of Horcruxes around I didn't know I made. One or the other.
So just so that everybody's clear, CA is the co-host tonight. TK is the guest.
We're just trying to confuse you. And then later we'll just add Morgan's face in.
Superimpose it in the bottom.
The bottom right. We actually just with like a thumbs up like this. It will just overlay it. That'll be for the video. I like it. I love it. Anyway, so to answer some of the comments, we apologize. Mets girl, who was supposed to be our guest tonight, she was sick. Her body said, "Don't go on the air." I tried to tell her to take drugs. That wasn't the best. I told her alcohol kills germs. Probably not the best advice in the world we've ever given out, but so she.
I told her to roll a con check, and that 4. Fortunately, the DC was a 5, so.
That's a bad thing.
No, that's bad. So, but anyway, so TK has so graciously accepted to fill in. And we have a good rundown for you today. Or at least we think we have a good rundown today. There is not a lot in the first topic. Our first topic is TTRPG creation. And since TK actually changed the script to put that in, because originally we had something about Mets girl. It's like, oh, you said in your bio that this and this and this, but that doesn't work for TK. So.
No. So as many people have heard me say, and a few people have heard me rant about at length of my hatred of Adobe Acrobat at the moment.
Yeah.
I've created a lot of TTRPGs. Only one I'm actually proud to say I've spent time and energy making, which was Princesses in the Dark.
But, yeah.
And it actually, if you want to start, like the very base of any TTRPG, don't make a new system.
But it seemed like such a good idea at the time.
Take something that already exists and make it fit what you want it to fit.
Yeah. That a friend of mine at the store, my partner Mike, always says the same thing. He always says the same thing. He says, when people describe what they're looking to do, he's always like, "Well, that's done here. Why are you even trying?" Looks like we lost TK, and Skype loves to jump around, so hopefully TK will.
No, TK's still here. I see him.
Oh, all right. I see him. Maybe
like
I just.
Me.
All right. Well.
Pictures are blinking on and off on my screen. I just assume we're good.
My Skype window popped up for a minute and disappeared. It's like, oh, hey, you're not here. Now you're here. It's like, okay.
So my important question is, can I be a princess, and who can I kill?
You can be a princess all you want.
Princess in the Dark is based off Blades in the Dark. It's a really cool system in its simplicity. It's very much narrative.
Okay.
And, I got to play test with some local friends. We got together. It was like, hey, let's before I play with people I actually care about, let's play with you jerks. And I had to make rules in there for cooperative combat. Because apparently they thought, okay, it's me and a bunch of Navy vets who are hanging out, having a good time, and they decided, okay, we're going to turn this seed, tiny little seed, and aerosolize it. Turn it into a breathable gas that the bad guy will breathe, and then have the Princess of Earth make it grow inside of him.
Nice.
That was nowhere in the rules.
No,
Hey.
I would think not.
Hey, TK. Can you see if you're, wow. You're gigantic, CA.
Yeah.
Wow, this is awesome. This is, all right, so we should tell everybody out there, this is the first time that I have a multi-Skype call with multi-NDIs going through this, and I am going to need to do some research after this week. But this is awesome. You guys keep growing and shrinking and growing.
Just going all kind of wonky.
Wait.
I take over and shrink. Bam with my face.
Wait. What does Smurfy mean? You guys have to make plans to embarrass me. Don't you think you guys do that enough? Don't you think listen, I embarrass everybody else? It's not right.
Can we redact when we're typing?
Look, I'm just saying, I have not begun to embarrass people yet.
All right, I will keep an eye out on this stuff. All right, so where were we? Talking about creating a TTRPG. Oh, God.
It was advice that I was discussing this last evening with some great people. When we were discussing the creation of stuff for 5e after chatting with Maddie, just someone asked in a group I'm in, can you take and make... They had this crazy idea that will not fit in D&D. So we were helping them create their own version of it. It's using 5e rule sets with different races, classes. Like you have to build it all from the ground up, but have that solid foundation of something that's already built. Like for me, I'm using Blades in the Dark because it's easy to have that foundation, but my system, when you look at when the playtesters get Princess in the Dark, like, okay, I see the Blades in the Dark influence, but the mechanics change. The what they call the danger clock.
Yes.
Changes. The mechanics can change. The mechanics can change how you want them to, but make sure they fit. Don't just write it and say this is my game and have no rhyme or reason why that thing exists in the game.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
That's how you get 4th edition.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Or Shadowrun 6th edition, which that's all I can say about it, and I'm really irked I signed that NDA.
So
I want to rage about that game so bad.
God, why do you do this so close to Gen Con, man? I had I just ran a Shadowrun 5e game last night, and well, no, all right. So I would be lying if I said I actually ran a game. What happened was we had 2 players. 2 of the other players didn't show. So what I did is I ran combat. I just ran a quick combat scene so that we can work through some of the kinks. And
5e at least tried making it more streamlined.
Yes.
6e, the official documents have been released, technically.
Yeah.
But what I can say, until after Gen Con, you're going to see a long-ass rant about it on Twitter. I can't discuss it until after Gen Con.
Oh, my God. See, you're going to make me spend the money anyway?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get it.
It is, oh, God. Just, you're going to look at it, you look at 5e.
Yeah.
And you're going to look at 6e, you're like, wait, how much drugs were you on that you thought going backwards was a way to make a new edition. Like, did you get a DeLorean by chance?
So I have to say, Catalyst wasn't always the company, right?
No, it was Chaosium for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then technically it still is Chaosium. Catalyst is an offshoot,
Who?
but the Catalyst games split up their development.
Okay, who's the second edition? Who did second edition?
That was Chaosium, still at second.
Okay.
And then for a brief period of time during fourth edition, it was actually owned by Games Workshop.
Yeah, well, that explains a lot.
that explains why fourth edition has minis for Shadowrun.
Fair enough.
But Chaosium, when they split their focus between the board games and the tabletop RPGs,
yes,
I feel the tabletop RPGs are really suffering, and the board games aren't getting anywhere because they're like CAU. Buzz and I played one of their board games, the werewolf game. It was like you have to figure out who's the werewolf, while also trapping other people's cards and not letting them know that you're actually the werewolf. Like, okay, this makes sense in theory,
but not in practice.
In practice, it's like, oh, it's only a 20-minute game. 2 hours later.
Was the werewolf a princess that killed things? Because that's what I'm really excited about.
No, although I am writing that just because someone suggested it on a person I was chatting with last night who I mentioned to you suggested that be a thing.
I'm hearing a theme.
Lycanthropy. Like, I don't know if I could make that happen. Like,
I'm hearing a theme. I hear princesses a lot in this conversation so far.
Princesses in the Dark was the She-Ra game I made, or She-Ra-inspired, legally different tabletop RPG. I'm waiting for Adobe's being a dick. I have to fix. I made this beautiful PDF. It had bookmarks, so you can click quick things. Unless you own Adobe Pro.
It was. Oh, hold on a second. We have an answer. We have an answer. FASA. I knew it was FASA. FASA did second edition. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I think that second edition was one of the best editions.
For Shadowrun? Yeah,
yes.
It was. Also for D&D, but, that's because I'm old. And, of course, Princess of the Dark, this is my favorite dice, is D6 based.
6 represent. Yes.
3d6. It's all you need to play it, as well as a piece of paper, the playtest doc, and eventually I'll have a character sheet once I don't want to throw Adobe out the window.
For those who don't know, TK and I are on the Thread Raiders podcast together, and that joke is that every week TK talks about a new RPG game, and for like 6 weeks in a row, it was just a D6 system, and at first he didn't even realize he was doing it.
And I disagree with you. I own a lot of D6 systems.
Nice.
And that's how that hashtag D6 represent came out.
And I own every West End game. And West End is big on D6, although of course before they also helped start the World of Darkness games. Like D6 and D12, they're just nice, articulate, very easy to run systems. Like, here are your stats. This is all you need to worry about. Does the die equal above 4? Okay, you succeed. Is it below 4? You fail. Is it a 4? Okay, it's a 4. Well, we're gonna figure this out. Hold on, let me check the rules.
Try again.
Try again later.
Try again. So let me just jump in here really quick. There's a lot of comments going on about me. I mean, about what you guys want to do to me. I mean, how is that even fair?
I feel like it's really fair.
You do?
I mean, it's Smurfy.
Listen.
What Smurfy says goes.
Yeah.
It's like a rule.
All right, let's move on to the second topic, because we just spent 15 minutes on the first topic, which we'll come back to, by the way, if we like. Our D&D tip tonight. Worry less about designing a location and its inhabitants around the current power level of the characters. Give them one that makes sense given the current story. And that was given to us by Sly Flourish. I I like Sly Flourish. I like including Mike's D&D tips once a week, and I can't agree with this more.
Okay.
I can't. I think quite often, and I found myself doing it just recently with my live stream game. I found myself designing stuff for around the players to get them experience, to get them treasure and stuff like that, instead of designing something thematic. And that's really what I needed to. That's what I really needed to do. So,
Rich, I watched So Maddie last night. Trust me. You're doing what perfect thing is. Improv it. It's perfect.
I've been doing that. They don't know how much I've been improving and how I have a whole bunch of notes. I haven't used any of them yet. The last two sessions have been completely improv. But now I know where I'm going. And I still haven't used my notes.
They're your players, man. You know they're not going to follow a path. You're like, okay, if you could go left or right, they'll like, all right, is there anything right ahead of us? A tree. All right, that tree's going down.
Yeah.
Wait,
What? Well, I will share with you when Morgan. I had to prep because Morgan's playing a druid, and I knew she was going to ask about all the flora and fauna. So before the session, I actually went to the U.S. Geological Survey site and went to a temperate zone, and they got a list of all the flora and fauna in that temperate zone that I knew they were going to be traveling through, just so that when she asked the question, I was like, well, I'll tell you. Because I knew she was going to ask. You know, I don't know everything they're going to ask, but sometimes I know. So it's just way too funny.
Especially when you know your players. Like, I know they're going to ask this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have a plan. Or have a plan to derail them when they ask the question. Like, what happens if I do this? Okay, roll it.
Nothing.
Let's see.
But
you tell me what happens.
So I have. So now I have some plans, but nothing is set in concrete, and I'm just writing a story, and wherever they want to go and mess it up on me, they can go and mess it up on me.
I actually did for a charity event was that I used all generators to tell the story, and it was the first time I ever did that, and I thought that'd be really cool to do for the charity event.
Yeah.
And the story got so ridiculous. Looking back over it, it was like, what happened? Like, you would have thought we were like high or something. They were just like monkeys made of bananas and like.
Like with the Call of Cthulhu game that you were at, CA, where it's like, if you donate a certain amount, you can help hinder the players, and then our fellow podcast host comes in and donates. It's like, I just see it pop up on the screen. It's like, oh, someone just donated to drop everyone's sanity down. I did not plan for that so early in the game. Everyone's like, critical sanity loss.
They're my favorite games are the charity ones, and then people make donations to make the craziest things happen, the most random monsters happen,
Yeah.
and they're like the best stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, jeez.
Mets is the chat. Mets, I love your face.
Is she? Did she join us? Did she join us?
She's in
Yes.
chat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get some rest so you can feel better, because I know Gen Con's going to be insane for a lot of people.
No, nothing bad ever happens at Gen Con. It is a completely wholesome place. There's nothing.
We have a whole team now. It's okay. We're good.
I mean, it's wholesome, except the Thread Raiders are going to be there in force. So wholesome
yes,
is.
Thread Raiders in bulk in one area. This never happens. It's gonna be insane. Oh my god.
It's like, it's a wholesome place. Next thing you know, there'll be a giant sign at Gen Con. If you're a Thread Raider, please enter this entrance. You need to wear this tag so we can track you guys.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun. And as you know, TK, we're doing this live from Gen Con.
I will be watching.
It's gonna be good. Wait. And I've convinced that girl at that place to do the henna tattoo on my arm while we're live.
Although, because she might watch this, not technically a tattoo,
Yes. Obviously, yes. Not technically a tattoo, but everybody understands it that way.
They do.
So I'm sorry. I apologize. I just.
I just remember Max's like long explanation. I was like,
Yes.
that's great. Max is so sweet. Like 2 minutes later, I'm sorry, guy. I'm like, no, you're correcting us because I honestly thought, to me, anything you put on your skin, tattoo.
Yeah.
It's a serious topic. Let's not get that wrong.
Yeah.
That was like, it was like a whole lesson. She's like, let me school you about this. I didn't use the word Max. She's like, I don't care.
Wait. What is going on? I'm missing all these comments. What is going on here? What's like? I got wait. DM minus rich equals damned munchkin. What? I'm totally height assuming. You know what, Smurfy? Let me explain something to you. I am not super tall. I am 5'8". That's not short. But let me tell you, do you know how many times in the past month I have been told that I'm short? I have never been told I'm short that many times ever. But I am not a munchkin by any.
Come to PA. You'll be short a lot.
That's true. I have a friend that lives in PA, and he's taller than me by like 1,000 feet.
Jonathan had a good question too. TK, you might be interested in that. So they feel that the D6 systems are great for narrative-heavy games, but they can be difficult for long-term games. What do you think about that?
And Shadowrun was a year long for us on the Thread Raider channel, and it's good for narrative games. The problem is for a long-term campaign, you have to look at your players, and you have to make sure, because Trials of Cthulhu is a D6 system game. Ghostbusters, actually have a friend who's on their 4th year of running a Ghostbusters game on one of the random stream things. I know it wasn't Twitch or YouTube. It's one I keep hearing about, Periscope. They run a game through there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to run it, but you have to, as a GM, you have to be willing to give up a lot of control to actually get into a D6 game.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of GMs aren't willing to do that because it's, you're the GM, you're supposed to be the end-all be-all. But in D6 games, for a long-form campaign, it's more sitting down and saying, okay, what am I willing to let happen? And what am I willing to say, screw it, it's happening just because it's happening.
Right. No, I agree, yeah. I don't know if I agree with D6 games are only for Lollipop Guild. Thank you. I don't know if D6 I don't know if D6 games are good or no good for long-term campaigns. I can definitely run a Shadowrun game for a while. I don't see why not.
It's like D&D back in the day. If you look at original one-shot or the original adventure packs, they even give you a time frame it should take to complete it.
Yeah. So.
And none of them were multiple sessions. Like, this should take 2 4-hour sessions or 1 8-hour session.
Right. Well, actually, one thing I did point out about Shadowrun last night is I think the nature of the word campaign changes based on the system. So a Shadowrun campaign isn't necessarily about jobs that run multiple sessions. It's really about what do you do in your downtime between jobs as you're building, and it's more about the social. I think the campaign is more about the downtime.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, you could have underlying threads that go through and plot lines, and that's okay. But I don't think it's the be all.
And also, I mean, with Shadowrun itself, there is an end goal, and that's to take out the Megacorps, or whatever your goal is in the game, and that could be your goal. You could have to do 5 or 6 jobs to get to where you need to go.
Yeah, well, that's true. 5 or 6 jobs. It better be more than 5 or 6 jobs to take down a dragon.
If you're trying to take out a dragon, first off, no.
Well, that's one of the Megacorps. It's run by a dragon.
In 4th changed it though, and then fifth they got rid of. We're missing a cataclysm somewhere along the way when fifth edition got released.
But there's still a dragon.
The Megacorps were run by humans and elves, and like because the last dragon when fifth came out was nowhere to be seen. It's like I could see trying to defeat the Megacorps and take out Goblinization and take out all the armies as like a massive campaign.
Yeah.
Or going to a place like Chicago, Bug City, and escaping alive.
I don't think many people live in your game, DK. I'm just saying.
I mean, I wrote the TPKD.
Yes.
I was once TPK'd by a dragon in Shadowrun. It hurt. It hurt a lot.
I bet.
I didn't know it was a dragon, and nor did I attack it.
Did you not know it was a dragon?
It just
shapeshift.
Yeah, it was a human, and it just killed me.
Yeah, you can't see through their disguise unless you have like no humanity left, and then you can see them because you're attached to the spirit world. But then anything you do, you suffer like a -20 penalty to.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the end of that character. We moved on. Where are we? Are we even following a script anymore?
We are.
Oh, okay. So
let's talk about GMs. What is the best piece of advice you could give to a new GM?
So this was brought to us by Tabletop Babble.
This book quoted right here, it is a guideline, not the end-all be-all. I don't have my 5th edition book because it's on my bookshelf and I didn't want to get it from the bookshelf. So I have my 2nd edition book that CA Designer and Bus signed, or CA, a few people actually at PAX last year signed. And one day when I get to Gen Con, all of you will be signing this thing. But it's a guideline, people. It's your game. Make it your game.
It is a guideline. I think that is the best advice. But you know what's more to GMs? The GMs have to talk with the players and make sure that they understand. Just because a rule goes this way this week doesn't mean the ruling can't go a different way next week. Based on interpretation. We found that last night we were doing something wrong in Shadowrun. Two of us thought we read it one way and we did that, and at the end we looked it up and we're like, oh, this would have been over a lot quicker if we hadn't screwed that up. But, it happens.
It does.
It's okay. Also, as a GM, it's okay to say I don't know, or oh hey, I thought the rule said this, but actually it said this, but it fits your character better to do it this way, the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
Or it fits the narrative better. Like if someone wants to, like a monk who wants to expend all their Kai points to jump super high and punch a hill giant in the face. Okay, you can do that. Now, how are you getting down? Because the hill giant's, 68 feet high, and your safe falls only for 30 feet.
Yeah.
I would say, it's okay if you kill your characters by accident. Like,
Wait, you can do that accidentally?
A lot of, well, you made me kill you. I was so good for the longest time. I had never killed a character, and you were so determined to die that it was my very first TPK ever. Damn it.
Oh.
But it's okay. Sometimes I notice that like a lot of the new game masters are like terrified to like kill a character by accident, or what happens if they're like in love with it. But it really does add to the story, and I feel like that idea of that your character can die at any moment really adds to it. Like you want your character to live, and it makes you make smarter decisions and really get into the gameplay. So don't be afraid of that.
I always instill the fear in my games, mainly because I act, and it's an act because I'm not completely against the players, but I act like I am. Like, if I have a bad roll, I'm like, oh, great, fine. Or if I get a crit, I get happy about it and stuff like that. But for my live stream, I don't do that. I was told not to do that because it comes off wrong, and I don't know. I'm about.
I gotta say, Rick, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because I did that during. How many games has it been, Steve, for a charity stream we've been in? Like 7?
Yeah.
The chat explodes whenever I would do a roll and get really happy about it, and not say anything. People liked that because they're like, you know,
It's intense.
they know I'm not against my friends.
Right.
I've had a game of that was titled "I'm not trying to kill my friends."
Yes. Right. I'm not killing the players. I'm killing the characters. There's a difference. Oh,
And
that's a good advice. That's good
one of them
advice. Know the
happens to be
difference.
named after one of my friends when I was playing. Dad should known that was going to happen when he named his Genku that.
That followed the Cthulhu game we did. That was like the murder mystery. It was intense. I was like, wow, there's so much death that day, and it was all by me.
And for GMs who stream,
Yeah.
and like I've got wow, it's been 2 years I've been streaming games. Don't try to live up to anybody else's standards. Make your own standards. Decide this is how I want to stream my game.
Yeah.
People are gonna hate it. People are gonna love it. When I stream games that I really enjoy streaming, like the sci-fi type games, barely anybody shows up, except for Thread Raiders. When I stream a horror game, which I also love to stream, there are people I've never even heard of who show up. Are like, oh yeah, this is me on Twitter.
Nice.
Because
Nice.
they can see I have a lot more fun building a horror world and just watching my friends try to figure out how crazy is TK really.
So apparently, I need to feel now. They're trying to come up with things for DM. Rich, the DM, the Dork Muffin, the Duck Man, the Dinner Monster. God, these are horrible. Drunk Monkey, Dancing Minotaur. That one's not so bad. Dumpster Monster. You got to try a little bit harder there. Let's see. Oh, and why? Thank you, Zynar. On another note, I was not called an Oompa Loompa. I'm not orange. Let's go with that.
No, Ryan, you don't have a bad tan. If you go to some of those spray tan joints in Jersey, you can become orange.
Yeah, but no, I'm not doing that though. So we're good. Dead molar. And then everybody, and then Zynar's putting real comments in between everything, so it's hard to see where this thread is going. Oh, this is going to be fun. The summer is going to be fun.
It's like DEFCON, but in chat form.
Yes, it is definitely doing that. So let's see, what's the best. So, any other advice that we can give a GM?
Well, we could forever.
Yeah, that's true. We could talk forever about it.
We almost went over on Maddie's stream last night because we were discussing that topic. We're all GMs, so we have all this advice to give all the newbies, and then we think of more advice to give the newbies.
I think rules is good too. I mean, especially if you don't know who your players are, if you're at a convention,
Yeah.
just make sure that you let everybody know what's going to go and what's not going to go. There's a lot of people with like different types of humor out there that may be really funny to them, but may be sensitive to others. I know that there's a lot of streamers out there like Welcome to the Party. They do where they ask each player what would be comfortable for them or not comfortable for them. Do you have any fears you don't want to come up in the game? And
Yep.
all of that is really good to know, especially when you're streaming. You don't have a way to communicate all of that.
Yeah.
And now they have like different codes and stuff. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
For players, be honest with your GMs. I've still
Okay.
there are certain players who are still scared of me from one game I ran because none of them told me about their phobias ahead of time.
No, you're kind of scared. You're kind of a scary guy. Yeah, I'll say that.
I'm like, guys, when I say, tell me if there's something that's like a hard limit and I won't include it in a game I'm planning to run for you, that's a thing you should tell your GM. Certain people have really big fears.
Yes, they do. If you don't know them, you don't know what topics are faux pas. It's actually, I'm glad you said that because that leads us to our next topic. Our next topic, hold on, I'm clicking around for the script because I never know what's changed. I don't know what CA changed on me today.
I was like, oh, we're done.
So,
off the hook now.
adult themes. So, what's the best way to play with adult themes? Now, what I mean by adult themes, it doesn't have to be sex, but of course it does include sex. But like relationships, nudity, gore, the stuff that you wouldn't play in D&D for kids.
I'm a proponent of this, and I'm learning now that this is something that all the people hear about don't know what it is amongst newer generation of players. Session 0. That's where you handle that stuff. You
Okay.
discuss it. Like my game, my Monday game, it's a bunch of adults. We all, it's a bunch of guys.
Physically, let's
So
not go too far with that adult word here. Okay, let's not go slinging that around.
But we're age of adults. Mentally, we're not adults.
Right.
We all know that. But there have been times where they hit up a brothel in every session, and one of them rolls every time to see if he gets lucky. It's been going on for 2 years. The answer's been no.
Oh, that poor guy.
His last charisma check got him thrown out by bouncers. I told him if you can roll it, it's fine. It can happen. You don't have behind the scenes. It's not going to be like up front in your face. I don't need to know what you're doing in the bedroom. It's not a porno, it's a game.
Yes.
Yeah, but sometimes you get players who do go into descriptions, and like I see that a lot in the Twitter feed, actually, where somebody gets into a game and then it's just so physically crazy within the game, or there's a lot of sex in it, and nobody was really prepared for it either.
Yeah.
So you just have to be careful, because not everybody's really accepting of that kind of thing.
Right.
So
So
you really know your people.
So beyond session 0, yeah, no, I agree with you completely. But beyond session 0, how do you deal with it? Because you could be in a situation where players come and go, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't just always address it in session 0. So you could be running a game and then someone comes and joins. It's like, I'll give you, like, on our Monday game. On our Monday game, like, I know the players, so they were going and they were killing these. They were killing bullywugs and lizard and fire newts, and every time they killed something, Morgan's character was always in the path of the gore that sprayed out. So she kept getting covered more and more, and I would detail it as graphically as possible just so that she'd understand how gross it was. But you can't always do that with everybody.
Yeah, that's a good reason to discuss before a game. Like, have 5-10 minutes. Say, hey, even if it's a new player, because I had a new player come in. I was like, hey, what's right before the game, 10 minutes early, we're chatting. I was like, hey, what is things like, if you run into something you're not cool with, let me know. I can change it mid-narrative, not a problem. But I need to know, because he ran into a situation where he's very sensitive to gore, and one person they were collecting bits and pieces of enemies.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I described this in great detail on what happened when one of them exploded. Because I think it's called a bloated troll. You go to or at all, even fictional. I was like, see, this is the thing you tell me before the game. Now I know he won't do that.
You couldn't tell me that 15 minutes ago. I'd like to welcome Erica to the chat. CA already did. Thank you very much. But so let's see. They're still going. Smurfy's still going. Doodoo Man, Dookie Man. Right. So the last two, Smurfy, I think you're getting closer. Let's leave the comments there, okay? Sure.
There was an RPG that came out within the last year that was sex-based, but I don't remember the title of it.
Was it Japanese?
No, it's American.
Wasn't. Yeah.
All right, somebody's got look. We got a lot of people out in chat. Somebody go look that up. John, you go look it up. I see you're in chat now. We need to know, what was the sex RPG that came out?
Monster Hearts was one of them. That's actually built into the game. There was one. I know there was one that one of my friends from Orpheus Protocol introduced me to. That was like a Dom submissive game.
Okay.
So they are out there if you are into that, and that's like your kind of scene, or there's a lot of kinky ones out there too.
Well,
what is it?
It's called Sexcraft.
Yes, that's what it was.
It's an exploration of submissive and domination through a fate core based rule system.
So here's my point. Here's a point, not my point with it, but here's a point to consider. a lot of people get into D&D and these fantasy RPGs in general because of something they've seen or watched. Like people who haven't played before or haven't been with the game from the beginning, they get into this because it's something they've seen before, right? And in most of these movies, there's some level of adult theme in it. There's a romance, and while romance we think is like, oh, that's not really an adult theme. It really is, right? I mean, what is it? What does a 10-year-old know about romance?
Right.
So there's that. There's relationships. There's murder. There's death. There's all of these things, and they get into the game because they've seen it and they like it, and they say like, oh, I want to play a character that can do this, and I want to play a character who can do that, and it's just, I guess, you got to address it on a player by player. I mean, you make some good points.
It really does depend on the group. I mean, I've dated, like, my player character has played, and dated other players, and I've had characters that have had sex with other characters too. But it just really depends on the people, what they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
We had those two characters in the Betrayal game, CA, who were supposed to be romantic interests of each other. My goal was to keep you from dying until you retrieved the thing. Yours was to kill me.
That's not Romeo and Juliet. That's like Romeo and... Never mind.
Like, orders came down, and I was like, I rolled the 2 to see, will I do this? Unfortunately, I did, followed by getting caught on fire by a giant fireball from the person who turned themselves back into a dragon. It worked for that game too, because we both are experienced in playing our characters that way. It was really weird me playing although I completely played against myself though, because I am not the kind of person who would just be very docile of, I'm going to eat everything in this moldy, crusted house. So I'm more like, all right, your agility's a 9, my strength is a 17. Pick up. We're going this way now.
But I feel like if I was at a convention playing with random people and somebody tried to sleep with my character, it would be really awkward and weird, because you don't know where it's going to go or how mature that person is or what they're into or how anybody else at the table is going to feel. So it's really...
Absolutely. No, I agree.
Yeah.
And especially if the player tries to sleep with the character, that's just weird.
Yeah. But that does happen from time to time.
Well, characters sleeping together, yes, but not the players. Not the player. Never mind.
I mean, what people do after the game is not my business.
With that piece of paper, I don't want to know what they're doing with the character.
I mean, they take the character sheet with them when they leave the table.
That's yours.
What they decide to do in their hotel room afterwards.
So, just to clear things up, no, Smurfy, I wasn't calling you a jerk. I apologize. I know it came out and it sounded that way, but it wasn't at you. I was adding that on the end of your DM things at me, but it was not you.
Zainor, there was like, when I was growing up, there might have been, when we were all growing up, there was like 5 or 6 things in fantasy and media, and then a lot of those were just on TV at least. Then you had books, but again, far and few between. Like 97, 98, there was that resurgence of stuff. Everything just came back. Everything that was bad is good again. It was a culmination of people realizing we can make money off of this.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Let's resell it. Bell bottoms galore.
See, and this is why I know how to make a flamethrower, just in case those atrocities ever come back.
Yes, it's true. It's true. There are some
Get
things
caught
that
on a skateboard wheel, and then you go flying, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, skateboards are dangerous!"
And now their skateboards are everywhere.
Yep.
I like skateboarding. Listen, man, I was a poser. I identify with that crowd, but I can't skateboard. I tried. Yeah. Not that I haven't tried.
I used to be able to, like 28 years ago.
I was. What was that?
You can skate.
Oh yeah, that's right. You saw the pictures. I can skate.
Yes.
Although my daughter will tell you that I am horrible at it. I am the worst person that she's ever seen skate ever. I was barely better
No
than.
one is good. No one's good at skating. Let's just throw that out there.
Apparently, my daughter is.
That's because she's young and she hasn't learned yet that you're really just walking on wheels. her sense of gravity hasn't fully caught up with her yet.
They fall. They're so close to the ground it doesn't hurt. I tell you,
exactly.
when I was skating, I was so afraid of falling because I wasn't sure how it was gonna be. But then I did fall, and all I could do was laugh, and it was so much better after I fell because I got it out of my system.
And now you know what it feels like.
Now I know what it
Okay.
feels like, and I wasn't
You
afraid to
survived.
fall. I did survive.
That's the important thing.
I got some scrapes, but I was good. Bruises, a busted ego, because some kid had to come and pick me up off the floor. Because you can't stand up with wheels on.
You can very carefully.
It doesn't work right.
That would have helped you.
See, I would have been the guy who's standing there laughing at you, like, okay, here's what you're gonna do. Get up to your knees, put those little foot brake thingies down, and that would help you up. Like, all right, there you go.
No, foot thingies.
Now-
Boom.
Now, I'm gonna go to wherever there is that has adult beverages, and yeah, you keep doing the wheels on foot thing.
So we have John filling us in with a bunch of info. Do we read it? Let's say, here's a good rule of thumb. If the DM doesn't lay out what's okay with the table and the group isn't really going with that kind of vibe, you should use caution before come-ons. Okay, all right, that was to the previous conversation. I get it, yes, we agree. And then I had 2 customers one time who said the last game they were in, one or more or less, forced to bed an NPC and deal with a pregnancy that came from that. They were super not on board with. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, I remember that. All right, I got it. Yes, that was horrible. I remember that situation. It pretty much. It's right. If you John's right. If you start doing things that hi Maddie, if you start doing things that people don't really know or don't agree with, they're definitely not. It's the vibe of the group is going to go down, and there's a good chance that you could just destroy the group. So.
Exactly. Distracted by Maddykins now.
I got very quiet.
Maddykins!
But I've actually seen that destroy groups. It's never a good thing.
Yes. Yeah. So.
I was in a group that destroyed many moons ago, right before I met CA and the Thread Raiders. And it was when I was running 9 to 10 games a week. And then CA heard how many games I was running, like, do you sleep? No, and she thought I was kidding. So one day she messaged me at like 4 o'clock in the morning, you still awake? 10 minutes later, sorry, I was wrapping up the game. Are you kidding me? What? It's a game for people in Europe.
Oh, man. What? Oh, we come to the good part. TK. Next topic is TK speaks.
I've been doing a lot of that.
Yes, but I have it right there in the topics, right, that people can see. It says TK speaks. Speak, TK. Speak. What do you got?
Damn it.
What are you plugging?
Let's see. Aside from Princess in the Dark, once I can not murder Adobe and have to remove and reformat a crap ton of bookmarks, this Saturday, CA and I will be wrapping up, Fatal Frame 1 for the Nightmare streams, which if folks are interested in a horror game, every other Saturday, CA and I get together and we stream a classic horror game, because they're a lot scarier than the older horror games, or the newer horror games, I think. Like, Alone in the Dark Alone in the Dark remake was good.
Right.
Or, like, the new Call of Cthulhu game, it had some, that creep factor, but it wasn't there.
Right, it wasn't completely there, I got it.
And even, I dug out The Evil Within again.
Okay. Yeah.
Playing it alone is just meh. I played it during a thunderstorm. It was dark out. It's like, all right, I'm going to crack out Evil Within. Got my snacks here. Got my soda ready. About 3 hours in, it was like, there were some jump scares, but it's definitely a game that you need to have a person to share that intense fear with.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And some of those enemies are really hard to kill. Like that one guy with rope was like, like 20 minutes of intensity. We had to like take a break afterwards. We had to do shots.
The blind girl.
Yes.
But blind.
TK, don't move. She can't see you, and she's like dead. I don't know why eyes matter, but okay.
Blind girls in horror, whatever, they're always creepy.
They're always creepy.
Always.
And no, nothing is as creepy. I have this weird irrational fear. Well, not really irrational fear. We don't have enough time to talk about that weird fear of ghost kids.
You
Tiny
can't.
Ghost kids.
I'm sorry. Hold on. We got to stop. You can't do that, TK. Don't you know this show by now?
So, I lived in a haunted house, actually 3 growing up, and one room we had, it was boarded up. My dad and I were doing some construction on the house to fix a leaky roof. There was some wallpaper. So we tore it away. My mom wanted to repaint it, make it her sewing room. And there was this boarded up door. Me, being me, think, well, we'll pull it open. Just a tiny kid's playroom was inside, right above my bedroom. In the middle of the night, I would hear the toy box music.
Yeah.
And after a while, that was probably 8 or 9. I was training in martial arts at the time. My dad also taught me how to use the knife for self-defense. I would just went up one night with a knife in my hand, look in, see the little carousel moving. You couldn't get to the attic without going through my bedroom.
Yeah.
I took that thing, cracked open the attic window, took my knife, jammed it under the painted sealed window, kicked it open, and threw across the yard. It shattered. I kept hearing the music though. I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna." Told my dad, "Yep, I'm moving my bedroom downstairs now." He's like, "Why?" He's like, "Mom can have this as a craft room." I moved my bedroom into the far room, sunroom of the house. Put up some blackout curtains. Like, I live here now.
Right. Right.
I was like 9. I'm like, okay, I can take anything. I got a black belt in martial arts. I'm badass. Yeah, creepy ghost kids? No.
None of that. You know, I also lived in a haunted house growing up. So your story is familiar to me. And we don't know how much of it is true or not, but we used to see faces in the windows when we were outside and it was dark out, and you go upstairs and there's nobody there. Apparently, one of the people, previous person who lived there or owner or whatever, killed his wife and daughter, buried them in the basement. Well, there was a room in the basement no one went into that had 2 rocking chairs, and we would move them apart or move them into a different room. And the next time you go down there, they were in the same room, facing each other again. And it was always creepy because, you never know. Did someone just go down there and do that? But you just don't know. You don't. Like, my mother used to hear, sometimes would hear voices calling her name. And at first she thought it was somebody outside the window, but when she would open her eyes, the covers were pulled up all the way over her head.
Oh, wow.
And it sounded like it was in the room with her. So, yeah, a lot of creepy stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of creepy stuff, man. So that's why you can't start a conversation and not go there.
Well, there's so much more. I'll be covering a few of those weird things this Saturday on the stream because my one friend wants to stop by and hear about what we've all dubbed the murder house.
Okay.
Because it's no longer there, thankfully. Now it's a Walmart parking lot in the town, the small town in PA, Upper Darby. Just got the first Walmart, and they needed some land cleared for a parking lot. My friend who owned the house sold it to them, do it. Make it a parking lot. I don't care anymore.
Maybe we should get together and go to a penitentiary overnight.
Or, actually, we could go. West Haven Penitentiary up in Connecticut.
Mm.
That would be nice. That would be really cool. There's one in West Virginia I'm looking at too. It's a penitentiary. The name's not coming to me, but it looks really good.
So we've got. Oh, so go ahead.
I know a few places in West Virginia that are super. Like, there's there's a psych ward and a penitentiary down there that I want to go to. The psych ward more because it's like it's a psych ward. It's gonna be creepy to begin with.
Yeah. Yes.
I prefer psych wards over penitentiaries, but I've had good times in both, and I've stayed overnight in places. In fact, Dan, who's in chat right now, he's been with me on some of our haunted tours overnight. We have some good stories with bats and snakes and dead people.
And I gotta give props to Zynar for knowing that Alien 1 was a horror movie. So many people think that they're all horror movies. Nope, just Alien 1.
The others
were sci-fi, not horror.
The other ones were comedies.
So props to Zynar for knowing that, because not many people do.
So Dan also put, the place I work was built on an old cemetery. The owner took the headstones and not the bodies. So hauntings are normal to me. Oh, that's wonderful, Dan. Maybe you get a picture. Maybe you get a picture with one of the haunted, like one of the ghosts, with your arm around it. Send it in. We'll put it on the show.
Yeah.
Or if you could get one of the ghosts. Wait.
Based on hauntings, that'd be cool.
Maybe we can get one of the ghosts be a guest.
Huh. Eric, in my old house, there was a ghost named Liz, but my old house was about 180 years old. She died there during childbirth because she died in the 1918. Found her birth and death records because I investigated the hell out of the house before I bought it because, a nice big 2,200 square foot house being sold for well under market value. You're like, I'm going to investigate why.
So Erica apparently has a ghost in her house, and it's friendly. They named him Kevin.
They're not all ghosts are malevolent spirits.
That's a shame. That's what that is. It's a shame. Why not name him Bob at that point?
Bob is the name of the lich in every D&D campaign I run. So, somebody says, like, oh, hey, I was talking to Bob. When did Bob become a ghost? He's a lich.
What else are you plugging?
I know we have so many. On Tuesday, I do the every Tuesday, except for this past Tuesday because I lost power and internet in my house, which sucked. We are doing.
Did you find it again?
Beard Stream, myself and Daquin Gaming get together. We play some random games. We chit chat. We're actually going to be picking up Fallout 76 again for a couple sessions just to explore all the new stuff they've added.
Yeah, new update just happened.
And another one next week to fix it.
Nice. Very nice. Let's see. What do we got next? What we are, or what are we? What are we watching and reading?
Oh.
I will start with.
Okay, you keep going.
I'll start with watching and reading. So I was watching Family Guy, but that's not what I've been watching. I just finished the entire series. I just watched over this week the entire 5 seasons of The 100. I thought that was pretty cool. I just finished up the last. I thought I finished it up last time, but I was wrong. I finished up Broken Mirror, and now I'm going to start the new episodes of Dark on Netflix.
What did you think of Broken Mirror? I've heard good things.
I liked Broken Mirror. I liked all of them. The new season is a little out there. Yeah, it was a little bit more weird than I think the other seasons. Like the other seasons had were very. Nah, you know what? I can't say that because I guess there were some outrage. It's still good.
The holiday, the one, like, I don't want to call them holiday special, like the one-off episodes they did, they were a little bit longer, didn't follow the same formula, but they were good. This season, kind of.
What does that mean?
It's good, but is it good? Is it so bad that it's good? I've been trying to figure that out, and I watched it twice.
Oh man, So, CA, what are you doing? What are you watching?
I have been watching Designated Survivor with Kiefer Sutherland. It's like a political thriller, which is very odd for me because I don't watch political stuff, but I watched one episode and I've been hooked ever since. It's really good.
Nice.
It's like
Nice.
what happens if like all of Congress is just blown up and you have to like recreate the whole government within like a certain amount of time. It's pretty intense.
Is it 24 hours?
No.
Because it sounds like something like an episode of 24. I'm just saying.
There's actually a real contingency plan for that too.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
It's called the 180-day protocol.
And it involves a blowtorch.
Eventually, yeah, they're gonna need one.
Oh, and by the way, I'm reading the Dresden Files, the next Dresden Files book.
Oh, love them.
I am on Proven Guilty, number 8.
Nice.
So, I'm enjoying. I obviously I'm enjoying them. So let's start with CA. What are you listening to?
I would say the newest thing is Todrick Hall.
Then say it.
What?
You said I would. I would say it. So then just say it.
I'm saying it.
Okay.
I'm saying it. Todrick Hall. That's his name. He actually sings songs with RuPaul, and they did a whole bunch of songs to Wizard of Oz, but they're like really funky and lively. I've never heard of them before, and they're pretty cool. Even like their costume designs are pretty out there, pretty wild. I like them.
Nice. Oh, we got something from Dan. Hang on a second. Recently, someone captured a ghost on a camera, and like 30 minutes later, one of our fluorescent bulbs just came crashing down about 5 feet from him. It's crazy. No cameras, Dan. Unless it is.
No cameras, Dan.
But does it work on a digital camera? So is there any way we can get a picture of that, Dan? Please? Pretty please?
Ooh,
That would be great. Okay, I'm sorry. So I apologize, CA.
Okay, I was finished.
Oh. All right, so they timed it great. I meant to do that.
No, from point.
TK, what are you listening to?
Oh, so many things. I have a second playlist, so and it's constantly growing. Recently, I've just been looking at, which is really sad that they're breaking up because one of the people, like one of their managers, happens to enjoy certain illicit photos of young persons. Man of War had a new album that just dropped.
Oh my God, you're telling me that one of the managers from Man of War had that problem?
Man of War and also Sabaton.
Oh my God, I don't know. I'm not a follower of Sabaton, but I'm a huge fan of Man of War. I met them twice.
Yeah, their one manager, they were gonna do a tour actually in PA, and me and a few friends were talking about getting tickets. They canceled the tour because, we're not showing support for our manager, but we don't have a manager right now, so we can't tour. Because there's no one to handle all the booking, flights, all that stuff, making sure the venue is set up.
That sucks.
And like they asked, what do you think about what happened? They're like, we didn't know.
Right.
Right when their new album dropped too, that came out.
That sucks.
Like that hit the news. I was like, whoa.
I'm sure they'll get a manager.
I hope so, but now they had to cancel like 4 of their tours, like 4 of their tour dates in the U.S.
Yeah.
And they're trying to pick up after Thanksgiving, but that's gonna be like half their tour in the U.S. is gonna be done. They'll have to pick up in like Wisconsin or something.
In the winter?
The East Coast is gonna be done.
That sucks. Oh, maybe they'll come back to the East Coast. We'll see.
I hope so, because like they're right down the road from me for the first time in 25 years. Like, yes, I could go see them.
I remember the second time I saw him, my friend Chris, who's sometimes on here. Oh my God, I opened up an application. I didn't want to do that. And sometimes, and he's like, come on, let's go. I was like, I got to work tomorrow. He's like, no, come on, we're going. So we did. We went down and we saw him, got home at 4 a.m. and it was in my 8 o'clock meeting. That was a lot of fun. Couldn't hear a damn thing. But
when I first saw Disturbed, that was Disturbed and 3 Days Grace, Avenged Sevenfold and Hailstorms. I got home. I got home at it's a 4-hour drive from where I was living to the concert place. 4-hour drive back. Concert ended at 2 a.m. My work shift started at 9. I got to work. I looked beat as
Nice.
all get out.
Nice.
First morning meeting, they're like, so it was on a Sunday too.
Yeah.
Like, how was your weekend? I just got back from a concert.
Nice. I love it.
I would have loved to have seen oh my god, that would have been
My boss poured me a cup of coffee, just slid it over. He's like, if you want to take a nap in the other conference room, it's cool.
No. I went to a Sum 41 concert, and I got stuck in the middle of this massive, crazy fight that happened. And then they were doing like body surfing on top of it. So somebody threw somebody's body instead of doing the surfing thing, and it landed on top of me. And I was so badly wounded, they put me in the newspaper. You just see like the picture of the body like flying through the air and me like trying to survive, and I was like, oh. And it was like literally like my first week on campus. So I was like, oh my god.
I've spent more than my fair share of time. I did my time in the pit. Let's just put it that way. You listened to the song that I sent you, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
great song.
thank you. We used to cover South of Heaven at our shows, and that always stirred up a pit. And a lot of times I'd go in there with my guitar. That was always fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the best pits were older pits. Exodus, Anthrax. What other pit? Sick of It All, Token Entry, some hardcore bands.
Yeah.
Those were intense pits. Those nobody
Like,
cared.
Some of the indie bands, like before Powerman 5000 made it big, I got to attend one of his concerts at a small club here in PA.
Yeah.
And we were on a roof.
Nice.
Because like they just set up to like do some sound testing, and he just started playing, and we were told by the building security and manager, you cannot mosh pit on the roof because we've been a support beam. I was like, oh, it's like, so if you need to smoke, you can smoke on the second level balcony. Like, as you're going in, you could see where the collective, moshing of like 50 fans on a roof did that roof. After that concert was the last concert they did. They now it's a historic building.
Yeah.
It's like now they have a restaurant there that costs more to eat at than most people. You look at the menu, it's like, why am I going to spend $140 on a plate here? It's a warehouse.
Overkill. That was a fun pit. It wasn't violent, but I remember the concert vividly because there was some kid who had on a leather jacket with fringes when those were a thing, and he didn't have too many fringes left by the time of the show was over.
I'm sure.
Because people kept pulling him off. My friend kept pulling him off. I was like, he's like, Rich. I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you doing? And then he got caught in a pit, and it was fun.
I really do love mosh pits, but it just depends on where you're with. And like in Philadelphia, like I go to see all the small time bands, and like I've been hurt a lot of times there. It just gets so wild if there's no security to really help keep it down. Like I've been hit with guitars.
Ooh.
Like I get hit with a
I'm sorry about that, CA. Was
so
that me?
badly that it left an imprint of the like strings in my thigh for like weeks. Like it just depends on where you go, but it gets a good time.
Younger me, I'd be all for it. Nowadays, like, no, too old for that crap anymore.
Oh man, I almost got kicked out of a show for moshing. It was the Headbangers Ball tour. How was this?
Oh, wow.
Anthrax, Exodus, and Halloween. What am I supposed to do? Duh. Man. Okay, so what I'm listening to is I'm bringing back the anger. It just is, right? So I've been listening to a lot of Marilyn Manson, and I like Avenged Sevenfold, Slipknot, that type of stuff. But that's been coming back mainly because I've been picking up my guitar more and more, and that's just how I play. It's just how I get out the emotions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So we'll see. I have more. I have a couple more songs that were recorded professionally. If you want to hear them,
I do.
one's an
They're
instrument.
really good.
One's an instrumental, and then the other one is called Genocide.
Oh, okay.
You can guess what that's about. Okay.
I think I can figure it out.
Well, there's actually a lyric. There's a lyric in the song that literally goes, "Looting and stripping the city bare." So I never knew what our lyrics were when we were playing. I only played the music. Like, I never knew. When I heard that, I didn't hear it. Like, there's a whole paragraph before that and what's going, about soldiers marching in the street, looting and stripping the city bare. I just heard looting and stripping the city bare, and I'm like, is that spelled Bear? And that poor bear. I mean, seriously. And what was he wearing?
What the bear do to you guys?
So that became the long running joke with that type of stuff. It's like, that poor bear and stuff like that. Oh man, we had a song called Grape Nuts. That was fun. And yes, it involved John Denver. May he rest in peace. Okay, this one I like. This one was brought to us by Maxine. What didn't you say no to? Let's start with TK.
Alright, I gotta think of an appropriate answer.
Say yes to everything.
What didn't I say no to?
Yeah, now this is.
That's an open-ended question. It's also it's how I got where I am in my career. Many moons ago, much younger TK, a much less wise, bright-eyed, and saw all the good in the world. TK, fresh out of college, got a job. My mentor at the time, who got me my job, was like, "Hey, I want you to be a manager." I was like, "Okay, cool." So here's 6 people work under you. You're responsible for their paychecks every week, making sure they do their jobs. Give this long list of things. I was like, and I didn't want to do it. I was happy being a tech. I was happy working on security. I still am. And for some reason, I didn't say no. And if I did, I know now I'd probably be making a hell of a lot more money than I do make managing people and managing things. But I really should have said no. Like, no, I'm happy doing all this other stuff that makes me happy to come to work every day and not want to torch the building. My 3rd day as manager, I started making escape plans, which started with Escape Plan Alpha, me realizing I had a 1986 Buick in the parking lot. I wore ties all the time and carried a Zippo. That's why Escape Plan Alpha just involves a Zippo, a tie, and a car made before 2008, because you can still cut the brake lines and push the car.
Yep. What about you, CA?
So there is something I started a while back called the Thread Raider Challenge, and this was to inspire people to try new things, and I got a lot of hands. And people started requesting things. Now, for those who know the Thread Raiders, tacos and pizza are like the food of our people. So I started off with pizza, and somebody said bananas on pizza is delicious, and it's a thing of their country. You have to try it. So I took my banana to the pizza shop because they don't have that here, and it was actually pretty good. It was pretty good, and it wasn't bad. And I made a video of everything, and it was great.
I can see that.
But then somebody was like, candy corn pizza. This is a really great idea. You should do that. And I was like, I don't know about that. They're like, no, you really should. And so somebody from Twitter was like, I'll even do it with you. And I was like, all right, come on, Jeff, let's do this. The worst idea ever. Oh my God. It was disgusting. It was horrible. And I couldn't back out, right? Because now I have somebody doing it with me.
No.
So we literally came home and we took candy corn and put it on the pizza and cooked it, which was the worst idea ever because it became this waxy, cheesy substance. It was disgusting. And I couldn't eat pizza for an entire month because I just kept thinking about how nasty the candy corn was. It was terrible.
Yeah, the question, was it worse than the pizza,
in a bag?
Yeah, the pizza in the bag we had at Gen Con, or at PAX.
Yes, it was worse. the pizza
That
in a
stuff was
bag, which is a
disgusting.
thing. It's legit.
My dog wouldn't eat pizza in a bag. That tells you how bad it is.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of weird things, but it's been a very odd experience, and I have a list, and people send me stuff now for me to try, so I have a bunch of items in my kitchen right now.
That'll be the Thread Raiders After Dark stream, the Patreon exclusive stream.
The next one is coming up at Gen Con, actually. It's going to be at Burger Steady. They have a burger called the Stranger Things burger. It's their special.
I saw that.
And this is a burger on waffles. So instead of buns, it's a waffle topped with cheese, peanut butter, and blueberry jam. So it's a little bit weird. And I can't picture cheese with my peanut butter, but that's going to be the new challenge. And Ice Cream, who makes dice, I think everybody who's in the community is going to be doing it with me. So hype is real.
All right. I may be around for that.
You might be.
I will see. I don't know when I'll be working at the booth, but we'll figure that out.
That's good.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, what's yours?
Yeah.
The world must know.
We must know.
I don't even know where to begin. So many things I should have said no to. Oh, what did?
was having me on the show, but I mean.
Coming up at Gen Con too. You haven't done before.
What was that?
There's a few things at Gen Con I feel like you haven't done before.
There's a lot of things at Gen Con I'm already signed up for that I've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say?
I said the hype is real.
Yeah, it's real. And I'm getting there, and I'm getting my, you get your normal anxiety on, but you know what? I'll push through it because that's what I've always done. All right, what have I not said no to? What can I share? We're after 10 o'clock, so I can get R-rated if I needed to. Let's see. What have I not said no to? I should probably say no more often. I don't know how far to... Yeah, so I should say no to online dating more often. But I did not say no. And let me tell you, it's been so fucking weird. CA, I'll tell you some of the stories when I see you. But
it's not as bad as, I tried it once years ago. Ended up getting matched before I met my wife. Matched with my ex-girlfriend from high school. who we broke up because she cheated on me, and I almost broke my one friend's nose. And then matched us. I was like, I know this person. I drink a lot to forget this person. And he was like, oh, I now remember. It's all coming back now. What is wrong with you, online dating app? I was online last night, and I think I told you the story right beforehand, and it says, hey, these are the people you missed. It always sends you notice. So I clicked on it to see who I missed, and I saw my coworker on there because we work in the same building. So I passed her 14 times. We passed each other 14 times at this location. So I clicked on her profile and I started talking with her, and she starts going, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I don't know. What's wrong with you?" So when I got into work, she used to report to me, but I'm no longer that manager over there. I'm a manager in a different department, and she's like, "You're ridiculous." I said, "I know. I'm very ridiculous." But yeah, just say no, then go and tell someone you trust. Yeah,
I
have a rule set that I send all my friends, male or female, going out on blind dates or on dating apps. They know what happens if they don't follow that rule set. The very specific things they should be doing, and they realize that I helped set up all of their shit, and also wasn't always such a nice guy. I wasn't always the ethical person I'm supposed to be, and I will hack their fucking phones to find them. Because I had a friend who disappeared for like 2 days going on a date, and it was a really good date. They're married now. No one heard from her in 2 days.
Oh, jeez.
They decided we're going to Vegas. Like, dude was very well off. I met him afterwards. Really nice guy. He had a private jet. He's like, hey, you want to go to Vegas with me? I have work thing I got to do. But afterwards we can hang out, go to the casinos.
You know, I just realized something what's unfair about this question. I'm going to have to answer this every week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to air my dirty laundry over my entire life.
Yeah, that's the thing about being a celebrity, internet personality. It happens.
Yeah, so. Well, celebrity. I don't know. I mean, you guys have helped. I'm not there yet, so keep pushing. Oh man, what have I not said no to? Oh great.
What have I not said no to? Well, next week, because what I didn't say no to was having CA and TK on the podcast or on the recording at the same time.
No, this has been a whole hell of a lot of fun. We are so over. Morgan is gonna so kill me. All right, quick notes. Let's move on. Quick notes. Gen Con. I will be getting the tribal henna tattoo. Sorry, I know it's not really a tattoo. It actually says that in the script, Maxine. Live during the weekly word at Gen Con on my arm. I think originally it was a tribal, but I'm changing that. I sent Maxine a picture of the Spirit of Taekwondo symbol. I thought that was more meaningful to me. So that I will be hanging out with CA until she gets tired and sends me back to my crew, which is fine. I completely expect that will happen after the first day. And then she'll begrudgingly come on the weekly word to co-host, and that would be fine. Let's see, what else? I apologize that At Mets Girl was not here, so I said that she must make an appearance and say hello to the camera at Gen Con.
Yes.
She said okay. So that'll be good. Anything, you guys? Any quick notes you want?
I think I've plugged everything I can think to plug.
Awesome.
There is a Thread Raiders panel. For those who don't know or are not familiar, TK and I are on the Thread Raiders podcast. I'll be supporting them on Gen Con. It's our very first panel, and I'm super excited about it. I've never been on a panel before. That will be on Friday morning from 10 to 11. I'll be on the weekly word, so you'll see me there. And there's also on Wednesday night, there's a get-together with the Twitterverse. So if you happen to be at Gen Con and you have nothing to do on Wednesday, you should come hang out with us. Starts at 6 o'clock. We have about a little over 60 people now who are going to hang out. And it's a great place to connect with people, make friends before the convention starts, talk about
good, because I don't have any friends.
Oh.
I gotta make
now you're going to have like a million friends.
I gotta make some. I don't know if I'm friend worthy.
You are friend worthy.
But I'm going. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna have 4 people with me.
Okay.
So I think there'll be 5 of us.
There's 78 people will be there Wednesday night if you want to join. I will make room. Let me know. But there's also different Thread Raider events going on. There's karaoke at the Wild Beaver. It's going to be Saturday night. So Mets Girl is planning that. So we will be there. And Tabletop Loot is also going to be there, which is a sponsor of Thread Raiders. They'll be, hanging out and giving out dice during that week. And we're going to be doing gaming stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, you can always hit me up on Chaotic Anarchy. And we would love to meet you guys and hang out. Have a good time.
People are so gonna hate me.
Why? Why are they hating?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. They're either gonna love me. They're gonna either love me or hate me. There is no in between.
Yeah, I know those feels.
We'll do a tally.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll vote. We'll do a tally at the end.
We'll let you know in the next weekly word.
Who hates you? Who hates? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with whatever the results are. I'm not really good with the results. Okay, what do we got? The wrap up. Thank you for watching us. You can follow us on Twitter at LR Terrain. Oh, by the way, we finally hit 1,000 Twitter followers today, or it happened at some point, and I wasn't watching because I looked today. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Twitter's being really weird about that too. Like, you're not the first person to mention that. Where I hit 1,000 followers, didn't realize it there. And I look and I was like, you're at 1080.
Right. I'm over 1,000, and I just didn't know. Instagram at Legendary Realms Games. Um, I am Rich Parla. I'm sorry, I sounded like a robot. That's your cue, CA.
Oh, a robot?
No, I said I. Thank you for watching. I am Rich Parla.
Oh, and I'm Chaotic Anarchy.
I've been TK. I'll be TK tomorrow too, probably.
So
We'll see.
I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and it has been awesome. If you missed everything we talked about, all the contributors, everything is down in the description. The links are in the description. Please check them out. Click follow, click the bell, help us. At some point, we're going to put together a contest for us to get to the next level of followers, 200, and then on from there. Where hopefully soon I will be, I was hopefully talk with CA and TK, and maybe we can put something together as a group, but we're not there yet, so we'll worry about that later. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
See ya.